Hey Leo, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing your June 2025 Tarot and Oracle reading. We're going to start with some Oracle messages to kick it off. If you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like other Leos and cross-watchers alike to pray for you, simply say hello, leave an emoji, or feel free to share in the comment section. That allows us to focus on something that represents your energy. And lastly, I thank you for hitting the like button on your way in. I appreciate you. So we start with the mudra message, an objective in mind. I can and I will. And this is how you do the hand gestures. So if you want to physically empower the message, you can put your thumbs together, crisscross all of your fingers, and then stick up the middle fingers, press them together. I can and I will. The affirmation goes, each step brings satisfaction and brings me closer to my goal. This mudra activates circulation. It's beneficial for all your organs and strengthens you at all levels. Give yourself a main target, preferably in writing, then divide it up into sub-targets, which you can tackle stage by stage, and begin immediately. The small successes strengthen your will, and soon your enthusiasm will begin to carry you along with it. That's awesome. It's very ambitious. It's got a lot of drive to it, a lot of chariot energy. We'll see if that comes out in your tarot reading. And then we have the message, you are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. Wow, we're kicking it off to a great start, you guys. I like that. All right, so for all of my return Leos, you guys know I only take the cards that fly out on their own. This is a living, breathing conversation is the way I look at tarot. And if they fly out in reverse, they land that way, that's how I read them. So we respect the way that they land. Well, what's coming towards Leo, June 2025. June 2025, we have the Death card. The Death card's not a bad card. It gets a bad rep because of the word death, and there's kind of like Skeletor riding on a horse here. But it's also a rebirth card, so that is suggesting something's coming to an end. We will unpack these cards individually so that I can give you more details as to what. But let's just get a decent spread going, and so I can read kind of the energy for June. All right, boom, 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 boom. So you're working through something in June, clearing something out. In the month of June, if your intuition is very high, it looks like, you know, you've got the Queen of Wands. This represents your energy, specifically around Seven of Swords. This is something like the wool being pulled over somebody's eyes. It casts a light of something unknown or a sense of deception. And so your instincts are very sharp in June. If you feel like something's off, you're probably right. But I want to know what the Seven of Swords is for my Leos, my Queen of Wands. It's about somebody else you are with, the King of Cups. That could be a water sign, but don't worry, it doesn't have to be super bad because you got the Sun and you got the Magician. What is going on here? Is somebody planning a surprise? This is interesting. Okay, Death card. This, and I'm going to unpack a little bit more so I can. Seven of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Okay. A lot of this has to do with a relationship. I'm just going to tell my Leos who are here for career, this doesn't look like a career reading. It could be sometimes that what seems to be romantic or relationship roles can be read that way, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. This looks definitely like there's almost this death and rebirth vibe going on. With the Death card, you got the Page of Cups. So regardless of whether or not this is kind of a redo or restart with the same individual, there's actually something that provides a little bit of a wild twist in the ending of something else. That wild twist is actually really positive for you. Aren't you curious about that? I'm curious about that. So yeah, there's a victory here. some of you guys are going to be receiving an apology. You're going to be coming out of a bad situation that seems like it already came almost to an end, but it seems that like there's a Hail Mary. Somebody's pulling a Hail Mary here. That's not going to be everybody, but I just have to get that out of the way because it definitely reads in the energy. There's a lot more nuance, so bear with me. Get yourself comfortable. Do you have anything to drink? Do you want to grab a cup of tea or something? We have, yeah, the ultimate message is that there is actually a victory in this death and rebirth cycle. There's actually something to be discovered here where you least expect it, which happens to be while something is moving out of your life. The deception card of the Seven Swords, that which you don't know, something sneaky, something that's unseen. It doesn't have to be always bad. It's just that something that's unseen. It's behind a veil. It's between two individuals, you and somebody else. You are the Queen of Wands here, somebody who is confident, runs by their instincts. They are classically known as the Queen of Wands, and I'm going to read it as such. And another individual who could be a water sign, a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, doesn't have to be. This is somebody who is pretty mature emotionally. They enjoy having those. They don't shy away from emotional conversations. They enjoy nurturing others that they love. They love showing compassion and empathy. It's a great part of their identity. There's a Sun card, very, very happy. And then we have the Magician card, which is this recreating something you want. There's a manifestation storyline here. Because I think that somebody who might have acted impulsively, and this could be an individual outside of the relationship between these two people. One sec. There are multiple people here. What is going on? You all are affecting each other. There was an ending that I think somebody was holding on to. I think they were holding on to it because they were a big catalyst to this ending. It might have been impulsive, recklessness that got this all started in the first place. And there's other people that it's pulled in to the picture. Anything else we need to know about all these people? It's been confusing. It's been cloudy with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. But there is a new start coming, and there's the sense of feeling seen as well. The Star card talks about being recognized, like the truth of a situation or the truth of who you are. Maybe this is your integrity, this is maybe your intentions, or simply that are being recognized by others. This could also be simply having your prayers answered. There's kind of a divine meaning of grace behind the star, a divine meaning of grace behind the star, and it starts this new journey. So we've got a bit of a mess here, and but it's going to have closure, and it's going to conclude in a really positive way, which I like reporting to you. But there's a lot of people involved. It seems to have had ripple effects. It seems like, Leo, you had to go right up to an ending. The possibility of letting go of something, possibly actually letting go of something to let it move out of your life, because it was the appropriate action here, the appropriate response to impulsive energy was for it to arrive at this place. I think, Leo, you have all these options that are now present before you, and the options that you have give you a lot of clarity on what you actually want. So you are looking outside of your box. You're looking outside if this is a romantic reading, it could be you looking at other possibilities of dating. You're possibly even looking at travel, expansion, basically. And in order to close this old chapter and start a new one, You want something, an event to even mark it. So that's to like mark the moment. And so that's where the expansion of the world comes. But in truth, you really are going through a lot of internal processing. So there's a contradiction here. There's still a positivity underneath all of this, because the world, it introduces not only possibility, but a really healthy closure of a chapter. So you're closing it on the heels of all these options. That could be daydreaming, that could be running through what ifs, that could be online dating, that could be searching for retreats or travel options. But it's healthy movement, right? And from this place, I think you're very discerning. We do have the Queen of Swords here, and she's not working from an emotional place. She can actually alleviate the place, if you've left a cloudy, confusing situation where there's been emotions running around, she can give you a break from all of that, because she is just so black and white. So this is embracing the energy of strategy and practicality. She cares about boundaries. She looks at what's logical. You are embracing within a partnership here. The Lovers is ruled by Gemini. You're embracing your independence. Now, this person who's coming towards you, surprise, surprise, they're really slow. And they recognize you as somebody who is fiercely independent in a relationship. They are coming towards you slow because of that. They recognize that stability is huge for you. Here's our Chariot. You are focused on your stability. That could mean that you might be doubling down on investing in yourself, whether it's taking yourself out to get a haircut or putting a down payment on a house. Whatever it is, you might be looking at, your finances and how you can invest in retirement. You are just really focused on your own stability. And it's alleviating something that was messy and cloudy from before. So when you pour your energy into yourself and your stability, it's going to be like a balm. It's going to feel peaceful. So here's this person on the periphery who's coming towards you as the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest knight of all the knights, carrying their coin. This coin could represent, I want a relationship. It could represent, in a few cases, like I mentioned, here's a job opportunity. But the coin in relationships, I must say, is usually demonstrating value in who you are. Whereas if it was a career or money reading, it would be literal money or a promotion. You get that? So this person wants to make the gesture, Leo, that you are valuable. But they are recognizing that you also don't need them. That you are the Nine of Pentacles here. And that your happiness is not contingent on the harmony of the relationship as much as it is on things that you can bring in for yourself. And you're going to be picking up pace with that. The Chariot card is an amazing card of overcoming any challenges, picking up speed, triumph. You get the idea. So lastly, we have this confrontation card. There's been some maybe fighting or bickering, some disagreement or confrontation. Sometimes that's even within yourself. Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands comes out with the Six of Swords upside down. What this means is that, again, security. There are some things that I think somebody is unwilling to waver on. It's regarding, there's something around preserving that which you stand for. Now, this could be for another individual or it could be you, but you'll know which one it is. Roles are reversed, right? Because of that, there is this failure to move forward on an apology or healing in an area because it's being looked at like this, that they are mutually exclusive. Whatever this is, that you or this other person is standing up for, that is believing in, that is rigid and non-compromising on. Even if it's exhausting, they're standing by it. They don't see how they can do that at the same time as having extending an apology or having this Six of Swords flip upside down into healing. So lastly, a word of advice for my Leos. I love that at the deck, again, we have the Nine of Pentacles. That is further amplifying the independence of this reading. Advice for my Leos. And of course, take this with, while listening to yourself, only take what resonates. You weave the tapestry of your own life and you have free will. There is a decision that you're being called to make in regards to this union. Now, this union is being recognized with a little bit of soulmate energy. That doesn't mean it's your only one, boo. I will say, if it's not romantic, this would be like that John Lennon, Paul McCartney, amazing chemistry. So chemistry is chemistry, whether it's romantic or not. But this has the potential to have equal give and take, equal compromise. But one has to make a decision. And so why is she blindfolded here? Well, there's only a few cards in the deck, like Eight of Swords and Two of Swords, that are blindfolded. It's to suggest that it's really hard in this moment to hear what your inner voice is saying, to hear what your intuition is saying. The intuition is represented by the moon there. You'll always see the moon representing intuition in tarot. She can't see the moon because of the blindfold. The blindfold represents fear. So a big question, and the advice that tarot is giving you right now, Leo, is what is scaring you? What is at risk? Consider writing it down, like your first card. Give yourself a main target, preferably in writing, then divide it up into sub-targets, which you can tackle stage by stage, and begin immediately. The small successes strengthen your will, and soon your enthusiasm will begin to carry you along with it. Chariot card. So you will have triumph over this. The choice is yours. I'm sending you love and light. I hope this was helpful. Take good care.